am now starting the recording. Great, this is Game 3 between TheLittleOne and White Raw coming up here. So tell me, what sort of strategy do you expect White Raw to try to pull off on Scrap Station, Chill?
Well, as a Protoss player, picking Scrap Station, the only advantage I see playing Protoss on Scrap Station is a close air distance, which is why it's so interesting to me that White Raw has picked this map, because this is usually, at least in my eyes, going to be for the kind of player who likes to do sneaky, like Void Rays, or going Phoenixes, or doing some sort of Immortal drop. And all three of those things do not scream White Raw to me. White Raw seems to be, the guy who's making 3 gates and crashing right through your natural. So I'm really surprised that he loves this map, as you say. And if he's not going air, it just seems so strange to me that he would pick this map.
I will note, though, that White Raw has done a ton of proxies on this map. He loves proxying, and he does a really interesting positioning for it, because most people favor throwing down a proxy pylon on that high ground right outside the opponent's natural expansion. But White Raw loves proxying right by the rocks, because players generally don't scout quite that far tight to the edge. So without any further ado, we are going directly into Game 3 on Scrap Station. TheLittleOne and White Raw currently tied up 1-1. This is the fourth place match of the Altitude TeamLiquid Invitational Tournament. Definitely check out altitudegame.com for a lot of fun. Game is now started. TheLittleOne is the purple Terran at the right, and White Raw is the orange Protoss at the north.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if TheLittleOne's going to go for his standard, 1 Marine into fast expansion build yet again. We've seen 2 variations of it now. Maybe he's got a third up his sleeve. I don't know. But I don't know. I feel like this map is pretty easy to fast expand on. The one thing I found so shocking was someone timed the rush distance for every map, just main to main. And I would have thought this map would be second only to Desert Oasis. But surprisingly, it's actually third to Blistering Sands as well, which I found exceedingly shocking. I think it's just like a kind of like an optical illusion. You see, you got to wind all the way around, and it seems so long. Whereas Blistering Sands is a straight line, but no, it's actually a quicker rush distance. So I think any sort of rush, could be viable here. But a lot of players just don't think it's viable. It looks like such a long rush distance, and we see White Raw favoring a bit of a more economic build here, going for the 12 gateway after the chrono boost, and TheLittleOne going to be putting down his 12 barracks here.
And real curious if TheLittleOne's going to be opting for an early expand. Either way, look at TheLittleOne doing a good job just poking down to the bottom right side of his main, making sure there's no proxy there at all. And we do see the barracks going down there. An expansion would kind of make sense at this point, because that's really the only building that's big enough to close off this huge hole in the middle of TheLittleOne's wall off. But at the same time, he could go for some sort of early factory, and yes, we do see the refinery going down, so no early expand antics from TheLittleOne this game. Very curious how he's going to follow up. I mean, this is probably the most traditional build by Terran, is just to go, for the fast gas after 1 racks, but we don't see it a lot out of TheLittleOne. Meanwhile, White Raw doing everything as standardly as can be, chrono boosting more probes, getting his gas and his gateway up. So, it's the mid-game plan for White Raw I'm most curious about. Almost certainly either going for some sort of Immortal drop or some sort of Void Ray. I would really not expect Warp Gate pushing at this point, because White Raw doesn't really make Warp Gates.
Yeah, you need to research Warp Gates to do a Warp Gate push, unfortunately for White Raw. But we see the SCV in the main of White Raw now. I just want to point out that when it ran by the entrance to his natural, that is TheLittleOne's natural, he did poke at those rocks just to take a look. So I guess he's well aware of what White Raw likes to do. First Marine for TheLittleOne, going to control that Zeldnaga Watchtower. I'd like to get control of that early on. It just lets you know when units are coming. And a very late scout for White Raw. Wow, his probe coming around now. Looks like he doesn't really care what TheLittleOne is up to, which happens to be a factory. No second gas, so it's not going to be Banshees. We're going to have to see what comes out of this factory. Is he still producing Marines? Yeah, he's got 1 in the queue right now. And wow. Is that 3 gates and warp gates? So White Raw, you throw me off every time.
Well, it looks like you're a little bit ahead of me. I only have a 2nd gateway just getting started now. My sincerest apologies, Sir Chill. Looks like for me the 3rd gateway has just started, and we do have the cybernetics core researching. Big control, the Zeldnaga Watchtower probe gets sniped at the Zelnaga Watchtower. Ooh, nice little micro right there by the Little One. Factory is getting near completion. Second gas, also about halfway done in Little One's main. So we do have White Ross scouting over here to the left, trying to get a setup at his expansion, trying to get some sort of control there at the very least. So very, very surprised to see White Rod going for 3 warp gates this early on, and no Vespene Geyser, so almost certainly going to be emphasizing Stalkers. Not a big sentry composition can be made out of just one Geyser, so that warp gate is increasingly getting close to completion. White Ross saying, I'm never expanding to that third base anyways, giving himself the manor pile on there. So, ooh, looks like Starport is coming out. A Little One Tech Lab going up. I am super curious how the Little One's going to transition from this point on.
Yeah, we've got 2 refineries now for the Little One. Got the Starport coming up, and he's got a little bit of everything. Putting up the bunker. I'm going to be interested to see if this is like some sort of marine drop with the Starport coming up in marine heavy, or if he's going to be doing a Thor drop. No, a tank coming out. Looks like a Stalker just going to poke a little bit into the main of the Little One. Another Stalker coming to join it. With that bunker up, that is probably going to shut that down. Looks like the Starport is going to land with the Tech Lab. And let's take a look at White Raw. Still on 3 gates. No second guy. Wow, building up a little bit of money here. Wow, he's at 600 minerals, putting down their robotics now.
Yeah, we do have Little One trying to do as much damage as he can, and we do have White Rod playing in a very, Little One playing in a very Asia server style, doing this one barracks, fast factory, getting the Raven out very quickly as well. But ooh, look at that! White Rod just sniped off that supply depot. Little One having to rebuild the wall off a little bit farther back. No siege mode out of the Little One at this point in time. That could be very dangerous. 3 Zealots just warped in. Command center about to start, but ooh, it gets canceled. Little One has this huge push to deal with. There's a hole in the wall, and oh my god, the Stalkers cannot fit through, but the Zealots certainly did. This supply depot is going to fall very, very quickly. There is not going to be much that the Little One can do about this. And look at this, the bunker taking serious damage. Somehow there's only 1 Marine in it. Where did the other 3 go? And it looks like the Little One is going to have a very hard time dealing with this push. That supply depot falls. I do not know if the Little One can come through from this.
I'm so shocked that happened. I mean, this wasn't a very unit-heavy build from White Rod. He just like slowly got up to those 3 gateways, started making a few Stalkers, and then moved in and basically killed them. Very shocking turn of events there, at least in my eyes, as the Little One forced to GG there. Wow.
Wow, that was... I guess everyone has a little bit of a sloppy game every now and again. I mean,
yeah.
The supply depot fell. I mean, the siege tank was doing some nice, decent micro. Obviously going to be good to get a Starport with a Tech Lab up on Scrap Station, but very surprised that the Little One just let the wall-in fall. Don't really know what else to say about that.
Yeah, just a bit of a misstep, but I don't think we can really take too much away from that.
Yeah, well, let's move right on to Game 4, and it looks like the map for Game 4 will be